The Golf Biz with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew. Management, marketing, myths, and morons. Hope we make you smile.
Welcome to the Golf Biz presents Golf Kids, the future of the fairway. Now, I'm here today with my good friend Dan, and we have our first guest, Owen. Thank you guys both for being here. It's awesome to have both of you. We're real excited. We're going to start out telling you a little bit about what exactly Golf Kids, the future of the fairways, even is. Dan, you know, you're probably one of the most involved people in junior golf. You know, we talked about it on the last episode of the Golf Biz that you joined us for. And, you know, you help run clinics, you run after school programs, you do tournaments on the weekends. There's really not much that you don't do when it comes to the world of junior golf. And, you know, I just found it amazing that I only met you because you were here at Dobson all the time on your own time. You know,
Yes.
Being a golf course operator and one of the busiest golf courses in Arizona, like didn't know anything that you had done, didn't know who you were. And I just kind of found that amazing in the sense that there's so many people out there that are doing so many different things for all their sports, for their communities. And really, if you don't take the time to kind of document it, to spread the word and kind of share that love, that a lot of it goes unnoticed, right? Not that all of this is supposed to be done so you could take notice, but in a world like we are in today, you know, we all need a little bit more smiling, right? We need a little more good, right?
Definitely.
So,
Yes.
so Dan, tell me a little bit about you again, for the people who may not have seen it before. Tell them a little bit about your background, and how you're involved in the junior scene here in Arizona.
Yeah, I appreciate all that. So just coming into Arizona the past 3 years, it's been a lot of junior golf. And it's just opened my mind up and opened everything up to just getting these juniors involved in golf and just being a mentor to them and, you know, just really getting the club in their hand and helping them out and, you know, giving them the opportunity to play golf, really. So we do a lot of golf tournaments. We do U.S. Kids Golf. We run development golf tours. We do after school programs. We do junior golf clinics, and it's all based just to give kids the opportunity to play golf. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, no, there's so many great opportunities here. I mean, we're super blessed that in Arizona, we have about 360 days a year. If you can stay in the heat, that you can play golf. You know, we don't get snowed out. It's 12 months a year. Only thing we got to close for is overseeding. And even then, I'm sure people sneak onto golf courses and play when it's dirt. And then, yeah, so I mean, we're super happy to have you here, man. I look forward to doing all these segments, just talking about, you know, different things going on in junior golf locally, different things going on around the world, because there's a lot of golf podcasts out there. And even with the Golf Biz, when that first started, our goal was never to talk about like what's going on the PGA. Sure, they might come up sometimes and there's relevant things, but there's enough people who pay much closer attention and know what they're talking about in that kind of world. So we figured another cool opportunity. No one really talks about junior golf, right?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of golf courses talk about wanting to get juniors involved, and they run their junior clinics, and sometimes they do a very great job. Sometimes it feels like they're just going through the motions. But we figured, you know, with technology at our fingertips, why not do what we can to kind of get junior golf put on the map a little bit, you know, and help these juniors kind of see that, you know, there's a chance for everybody out there. And whether you decide to go pro in golf, you're really good at golf, you use it as a hobby, whatever it is, you can make a living in golf more ways than just being on tour, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And that's what the podcast is here for. We're going to showcase all the junior golf around the valley and, you know, the junior golf we do here at Dobson Ranch and other places, and kind of give kids an outlet and just another look on golf and what happens in the junior golf world, which is great. And we can just document all this. We talk about tournaments. We talk about maybe some funny stories that happen out there, and just kind of how to get into it, where to find it, what it's about. And I think it's going to be a really good podcast.
Yeah. So for any of you looking, if you guys know from your hometown, any other amazing junior programs, people who are doing great things for the game of golf, you know, let us know about it. Put us in contact with them. We'd love to pick their brains and kind of show the world what it is they've got going on. And all that brings us to a big O. We've got Owen with us today. Owen, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? You know, tell them a little bit about you, your background and golf, and how you kind of ended up here.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm Owen, and I have been playing golf for most of my life. Since I could walk, I picked up a club, and that was just my passion. I could just feel it. So just ever since then, my parents kind of took, they wanted to give me something to do in my pastime, and that was kind of golf. And over time, I grew to love it more and more, and now I could not picture myself without golf. So it's definitely a huge part of my life. So
Yeah. When you say most of your life, like how old are you?
I'm 14, and I've been playing golf since 3. I think I played in my first tournament when I just turned 3.
Jeez.
Wow.
And you're like, what? You're already like 6'2", or how tall are you? You're tall, man.
5'11"
You're
or
catching me.
6.
He's knocking on the
6
door,
foot
man.
on paper.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's the same. That's the excuse I use, man. It depends what day if I wear my shoes at the doctor.
And
But
not to mention, Owen is a complete stud. I mean, class act, great kid,
Yep.
great golfer. That's why we're super happy to have him here on our first show. And
yeah, so we're going to do a couple of these. Today we're going to talk with Owen. We'll do kind of a junior golf highlight. Sometimes we'll talk about different tours that Dan's got going on. Like I said, we'll have other people involved. And then Owen, you said you started right away. You picked up a club and it was just kind of like love at first sight. Do either of your parents play golf, or how did that come to be?
No. My dad played a little bit of golf, but it was mostly my grandpa who got me into it, and just, started taking me out on the golf course. We'd have little putting competitions, and I loved every bit of that. And sometimes we'd play for a candy bar, and I love that little bit of competition. So it was definitely, just one of those love at first sight. So.
No, that's awesome, man. I think that's a pretty common theme. I know Dan and I had talked about it before when we did the other episode about our backgrounds and how we got into golf. And it's always cool to hear, whether it's a parent, it's a friend, a family member, a grandparent, just like you said, to have somebody who's probably, I'm sure your grandpa was a mentor to you in a way. And for people to have that kind of effect, through this game of golf, it is really a unique thing.
yeah, that's awesome. And just like Owen said, it's a family thing for him. His parents support him 100%. He's a good kid, and it shows. It really does out there on the course. And the way you manage your golf game is high caliber. So we all appreciate that, and the things you bring to the game is awesome as well. Owen, so besides your grandpa growing up, did anyone else inspire you, an athlete or anything like that, to start playing golf?
I mean, just, growing up, my dad would have on the TV, and just all the pros at the time. It was like, man, I want to do that when I get older. Like, that would be my dream. And Ricky Fowler was just like the guy who, like, everybody kind of, everybody loved him. He was such a genuine guy. And I was like, man, one day I'm going to be like him. I'm just going to, love the fans, embrace, everything that comes his way. So
You've got the flow down, that's for sure. You've got the long hair to go. We just got to get the mustache going soon.
Oh, yeah.
We got to swap the Titleist hat for a Puma hat. We'll get you there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bright orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Tossing stuff out. I love that. So Ricky Fowler, is he your favorite golfer to this day, or do you have any other golfers that you look up to like that?
Ricky Fowler's definitely always been one of my top guys. I've always loved Jordan Spieth. Just, not everybody can do what he did, just jump on the scene. He was also a big junior golfer, and just, doing some of the, like the path he took just would be, awesome as well for me.
Yeah, that's one of the things when I did see Jordan Spieth growing up in the junior golf circuit. It was seeing him and Justin Thomas, that famous picture of them eating food on the step right there on that first tee. And it's insane to see, how far they've grown and how far they come. So that's definitely a possibility for all junior golfers, and, something to really look forward to. That's really cool. Really cool.
And I've got to say too, I kind of picked up on something you said earlier. You said that your parents, they wanted to give you something. And I think what's really, unique hearing that your parents, neither of them really had a big background in golf. You know, I've met your mom, Shari. She's amazing. Every time she's here, being 13, 14 years old, you can't drive yet. So it's a lot on them. And, you know, I was fortunate enough too, not in golf, but in other sports, you know, shout out to my mom all the time. She drove me all the different places. You know, the parents really are a huge thing. And I think what, you know, I am the happiest to see, especially in your case and with so many of these junior golfers, is that, you know, I'm sure there's definitely parents out there who exist who kind of want to live through their kid and might push their kid through things that they don't really like. But, you know, it's kind of interesting because I haven't met too many kids who are as good at golf as you are, have the passion for golf as you are, and really didn't have the parents that were involved in it. But to see the way that your parents acknowledge it, they know that golf as a sport is healthy for you. You're learning all these lessons. It's keeping you out of trouble and it's helping you grow and all these things. It really is something cool. And I just wanted to say how special and awesome I think it is to kind of see just that they have full support. You know, I remember even asking your mom kind of about that as she played, and she's like, not really. But like, as soon as he got into it, I started learning more. And, you know, just to see a parent take that approach where they become a fan of it because you are, instead of getting you to fit into what they did or what they wanted you to do or something. Right. So it's definitely a really cool thing you guys have going for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What were some of those things kind of growing up? What kind of made you, you know, kind of comfortable at the golf course? Was it just your grandpa bringing you there? Or was it, you know, going into the food and beverage shop, getting a Powerade? Everyone was kind of welcoming. Where was your home club kind of growing up?
So I used to live in Illinois, so Arizona hasn't always been my hometown. And I used to live 5 minutes from a golf course, and that golf course was, you know, just very gracious to me. And, you know, they would, you know, accept a little kid. You know, I was 6, then I was 7, then I was 8. So like, they saw me mature out on that golf course. And yeah, just my grandpa, he knew a lot of the, you know, people who worked out there. So they got to know me, and they, you know, they loved having me out there, and they loved seeing me grow and develop. So I instantly got comfortable, and I started knowing everyone. So
You started taking all their money out there and lighting it up, didn't you?
Yeah, that's and then did you have that, like, what was that like? Because, you know, that is kind of a special thing. And we've talked about it a lot on the business side, that golf as an industry is not necessarily the most welcoming thing, right? Historically, golf wasn't the most open sport, and it really still has a long way to go. And it's not very forward thinking. It's pretty, you know, black and white in terms of, well, it's always been this way. Like, why would we change? And so what was that like? You know, I'm sure you played a lot at that. What golf course was it in Illinois?
it was called the Den at Fox Creek.
Okay. So the Den at Fox Creek.
Like a fox den.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So
That's cool.
after playing at the Den so much growing up, like, what was that like as you grew up, kind of branching out to these other golf courses? Did you see in that area, were a lot of them the same sort of warm welcome, or was there kind of a culture shock there when you went to these other places where you didn't know everybody?
There's definitely certain golf courses that were little, not harsh, but a little less friendly to a junior. Sometimes like, okay, sometimes they'd even have like a junior rate. So I would have to pay like a normal membership. So that was definitely a shocker. But other courses, I would go out there and, you know, they're like, oh, you know, like, of course, it's great to have you. You know, we love seeing juniors out here, but definitely, you know, just going out to a course where it is a little less unwelcome is interesting. Just like, man, I don't really want to, sure, it's a nice course, but like, people who work here aren't so great. And that's what I love about Dobson. It's just, you know, you come out here and everybody, you know, knows who you are. I remember like when I first started coming out here, you're like, hey, Owen, hey, Shari. And, you know, I was like, man, you know, I haven't had a course that does that. So.
Well, cool, man. Yeah. Cool. I mean, that's definitely our thing, you know, whether it's at Dobson or at, you know, I don't think you've met him or seen him at all, but Mikey, who runs our golf course in Florida, you know, Palm Beach National, all those places. And as a management company, that's kind of been our philosophy, right? We saw, you know, when this started, we saw that there was a huge there was a huge lack of kind of compassion in the golf world and the golf business. And we just thought for something that is as powerful as it is, has given Dan the future he's got, it's given you kind of all of the tools you need to grow up and do so well with all the things you're doing. Golf has a lot to offer. And it is way more accessible than people realize. And so that's kind of our mission, is to, treat everybody, not just how we want to be treated, but how they should be treated. And then to also break down some of those barriers, show people that golf doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg to come play. You don't have to be really, really good to play golf. You don't even have to go on the golf course. You can go to the range 3 times a week. And in my book, you're a golfer. You know what I mean? So no, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's especially when it's tough to go to a golf course and just be intimidated right off the bat, and that's also what I do love about Dobson Ranch. It's, it's welcoming, it's fun, anything you need, they'll take care of it for you. So we appreciate you definitely coming by here too. With that being said, let's move on to some questions. Just with golf, starting out, growing up, you just kind of fell in love with the game. But, eventually as you grew, you started playing tournament golf and you started competing. What do you love about the competition? What do you love about that? What kind of gets you going and, makes you want to play in these tournaments?
Just competing against other kids. Just like seeing where I rank with different kids, trying to see if I can compete with the best kids in the nation, and trying to get to that spot where, I can see my name every single time at the top of the leaderboard or top 5, just just getting to that spot, just getting to that podium is, it's cool. And then within that competition, just every shot means something. And, I love that you have to take your time on every shot, and every shot counts. So
yeah. And when did that click for you? When was that next level kind of brought into your game? Cause I remember watching you, and, you're a great golfer growing up, but these past couple years, there was a couple times where I saw you, I was like, man, he kind of turned it up to that next level. What kind of brought that on?
Looking at past scores and seeing how much you can improve, just seeing that one little stroke can help so much in a bigger scheme of things. So, just making sure I can do everything to shave even one stroke is huge. And that's what, pros, that's what amateur golfers, that's what we would all love to know, is what is that secret to consistently shave strokes and just get comfy out on a golf course. So I think that's definitely something I'm always looking into, is just trying to figure out how to get lower. Not to mention a lot of range time. You and your dad are out there all the time grinding.
Being pretty much the only one out of you guys that doesn't actually compete in golf, I'd be interested for what both of you guys think, because in other sports, right? And you were kind of talking about it, when you're looking at the leaderboards, it's you against everybody else. But I've also heard a lot of people talk about in golf, really, you're not necessarily playing the other people in your group or the other people in the field. You're playing yourself, and you're just always trying to get your best score and hoping that it stacks up well. Like, how is that to kind of come to grips with, or is that how you do it? Or do you look at the leaderboard and say, hey, you know what, that guy's only a stroke ahead of me. He's already in the clubhouse. I just need to do one more. Like, does that ever kind of switch back and forth, or how do both of you guys, I guess, kind of approach it? I guess we'll start with you, Dan.
Yeah, definitely competing against, yourself, you're your own biggest enemy, right? Which brings in some of that mental game, and it gets tough. It really does. But kind of figuring out yourself out there on the golf course just helps you in life in general. But, just kind of telling yourself like, hey, I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, having that confidence and having that swagger out there really, really just helps with everything. I would just, just kind of having it out there, really.
Yeah. What about you, Owen? Do you ever get out there, and are you just focused on your game, honed in, everything like that? Or are you ever like, are you eyeing the board when you're playing? Are you looking and trying to stack up against it? Like what works for you?
Definitely, it's you against the course, and it's how low you can go. And some days you're against a lot tougher field, and you are just looking at the course and you're like, okay, you have like little goals in your mind, like I want to do this and this, or I want to make sure I have it, I don't compound mistakes, or you do set miniature goals for that particular round. And it's really you against the course. It's not like you're in a boxing match. You can't knock out another player. So
yeah.
Speaking of those goals, I've seen Owen's little Excel chart, and he has about 50 little games that he plays against himself, and it's all documented. It's really cool. What are some of those games, Owen?
One of the games is, we call it the gauntlet. It's pretty much like an up and down game, and you're hitting all these different shots around the green, probably out to 20 yards. It can be extremely tricky lie. I mean, you can get so many different lies on a golf course. So you just try to make them unpredictable, and you hit a shot and you try to make it, you hit on the green and you try to make a putt. And, the main goal is to try to be even with as few bogeys as possible. So that's a good game for around the green for when it counts in that competition setting, when this shot has to matter. You have to get it up onto the green, then you have to make the putt. So that one has helped a lot. And
how about that push-up game?
So
yeah.
I've had to do my fair share of push-ups.
What's the push-up game? And are these games you're playing while you're playing a round of golf, or are these like drills you're doing like when you're practicing?
Drills, like practice drills.
Because I've seen people come off the golf course and like it was one guy playing, and I've got like 7 rows and I've got all these marks, and he's doing how many 3 putts or all these things. So I was wondering if it was those games. So these are practice games. What's the push-up game?
The push-up game is, so I have a list of like 50 games, and I only get through so many a day, but I set little marks. So for like that gauntlet game, however many I'm over, I do a certain amount of push-ups. And, depending on the games I choose a certain amount of push-ups for however many, over. If I got under a goal, I would like knock off push-ups. And, I'd get to a point where at the end of the day, I'd have to do like 300 push-ups, or sometimes I would, have to only do 20 or whatever. And
oh my goodness.
I've seen him bust about 40 out.
It may not look like it, but
no. Well, dude, you don't have a lot of weight to throw around. That's the key to like push-ups and pull-ups is, you might not be the biggest, but you don't have a lot to move either. True. Well, dude, I would do it. If you guys want to see us do a head-to-head push-up game, see how many push-ups I would have to do. Give me how many games like do you play in a day? You said you have 50. You don't play all 50. What do you play, like 5 a day, 10?
5, 10 a day.
Okay, I'll do 5. We'll do 5. I'll play 5 games.
Okay.
And we'll see how many push-ups I got to do.
Okay.
We'll set it up.
I like it.
Let's do that.
Oh man, I want to know the over/under. Is it going to be 300?
Oh man, I'll take the over that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing 5 games,
I don't think Owen's seen me swing a golf club or play.
Sneaky good though. Sneaky good. I'm not sneaky power. And
I'll say under. I have faith.
Yeah, but if all these games are around the green, man, I don't know if power is really going to help me much.
The good thing about all these games too is for our junior golfers that are listening out there, set goals, set up something that's going to help you stay on that competitive edge. Even when you don't think you can, if you're out there on the range and you're just sitting there and you're like, man, all I do is just hit range shots, go ahead and set some goals up, set anything. It could be a 3-foot putt. It could be a shot challenge out there on the range. It could be anything. Always push yourself, always keep yourself grinding, always keep yourself kind of on edge and staying competitive out there. If you do want to do that, those are just little things that you can do, that I have seen Owen do. I've seen a lot of junior golfers do. Just by themselves or with a friend, a ton of things that you can do just to get yourself kind of, getting better every single day.
For sure. Yeah. The accountability is big in every sport, 100%. And I think that, it makes sense that in golf, there is no coach or team most of the time for a lot of people out there. And, you know, in baseball, all the sports growing up that I played, the coach said the same thing. It's about what you do when nobody's looking, or it's about what you do whether or not somebody's looking. And so whether it's push-ups, whether it's running, you know, 100-yard sprints, whether it's, you know, even just, I don't know, giving people compliments for everyone you mess up, whatever it is, just setting a goal and then following through on it. Because I can imagine some of those days you're out there, you play your 5 or 6 games, you got to do like 80 push-ups and it's 115, and you're like, dude, no one's gonna know if I skip these.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that's going to separate people, you know. Sure. And it's not even that you did the push-ups and you're that much bigger and stronger, but it's that you set that goal, you went with it, and you're going to roll with the punches. So when you're on the golf course and you hit that shot into the water when the pressure's on, you're not going to hang your head. It's not going to snowball and you're going to put up a 10 or an 11 when you could have just salvaged it and put up a 6 or a 7. Right. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that I think go underestimated. And, you know, it goes back to, a lot of people have said practice makes perfect. And then a bunch of people have come out and said, no, it doesn't. Perfect practice makes perfect, and all these things. But, you know, there's people that can sit on that driving range and hit 10,000 golf balls. But if you don't actually have anything you're aiming at, you're not working on anything specifically. You know, I've seen people that have come through these doors 5 times a week for every single week that I've been at Dobson, and I could beat them in golf. But, you know, if it was just beating balls, you know, so it goes to show that you got to set those goals. You got to hold yourself accountable, or find someone that'll hold you accountable for sure.
Definitely.
Yep. And so speaking of junior golf, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go ahead and throw up some clips from one of our throwback videos that we did out in Florida. We had Minnie Brooks and Minnie BD go head to head. Stay with us and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking it out and sticking with us. Hope we made you smile there with the Minnie BD versus Brooks Koepka. Let us know if you want to see some more matches from those two. Those kids are studs, let me tell you. They definitely hit the ball better than I ever can. So we've gone kind of through your background, Owen. You've told us a little bit about how you got into the game, kind of who got you into the game, all that stuff. Now let's get to the good stuff. Like, tell us about, it's game day. You've got a big tournament this weekend. You know, what is going through your head? Do you have rituals? Like, take us through the morning before you've got to play, or even if it starts the night before. Like, what kind of systems do you have in place for when you're going to go out and compete?
Yeah, definitely night before. Definitely very important to get a good night's sleep. So I'm making sure I go to bed at a good time, so wake up feeling refreshed. If I have an early tee time, most likely it's go, trying to get ready and, you know, get out the door. And I normally arrive to the golf course about an hour before, but yeah, if it's a little bit later tee time in the morning, I get up and I not run downstairs.
Like a kid on Christmas in the morning.
Dude, yeah.
Like, yeah.
I go downstairs and I grab like a breakfast sandwich or something. You know, I just sit there chilling, and I'm definitely not thinking about golf in that moment. I don't want to, you know, preoccupy my mind with golf. So sometimes I play like a card game with my parents, or just sit around, talk or whatever, look at my phone, just different stuff like that. And then as soon as I get to the course, you know, I load all my stuff in and I mark my ball. I don't really have too many superstitions. I always put my...
What are those markings on that golf ball looking like? Because I know your mom's always told me she wants you to mark it with a nice music note.
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
I did.
One time, right?
Past tense.
How'd it go?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was fine. I probably should do that again. It was a good marking, but definitely for right now.
But see, did you win? I feel like if you won, you would have done it every single time since. That would have been
I forget.
Months ago. It was like it was that wigwam.
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
What other markings though? What are we talking here?
So
dots.
The golf balls that I like to play with are Titleist 47, and that was the year my grandpa was born, who got me into golf.
Okay.
And I just do a simple black dot, just because not too many people are gonna have a Titleist 47. So, you know, that's kind of like my ball is a Titleist 47. So it's kind of like what I have.
Little black dot. What's the the night before, what's that meal situation looking like? What are we talking
Okay.
here?
Any type of pasta. Like I love a good goulash, which is like
I don't even know what that is.
it's
what-
pretty much like pasta with like peppers, like green peppers, and like squash and zucchini. So it's pretty.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's pretty
Are
pretty
you like
hearty.
getting this from somewhere, or are you
Nah.
guys like making this?
My mom makes it. My dad makes it. I help. I chop the
No way. So it's a
squash and
family.
stuff,
It's
yeah.
a family
Uh-huh.
affair. You guys get together.
Yeah.
Are they good cooks? Do they cook a lot
Oh,
of meals at
man.
home?
My dad's a great, he loves to create like different things on the grill, like with different seasoned meats and stuff. And my mom loves to make soup. She loves to make soup. And at one point we were like, oh, we should start a restaurant called Bowls of Soup, which is Bowles is my last name. So we're like, oh, that'd be so good. Like that's such a perfect catch line. Just like bowls of soup, bam. And then you have like your soups, you have your chicken or burgers or whatever. So yeah.
Dude, that could be good. You guys got to get a golf course, and that could be the restaurant
right.
at the golf
Yeah.
course, man. You guys will have bowls of soup.
I would
Yep.
definitely be there for that.
Dude,
Definitely.
we'd be there to break ground. We'd help you guys out.
Oh, that'd be
No,
awesome.
man, that's super cool. Is that so? Do you like cooking, or what other hobbies do you kind of have?
I mean, I don't mind cooking.
Yeah.
Definitely I like being a sous chef. Kind of like tell me what to do and I'll do it. But other hobbies, I play piano, drums, and bass guitar. And piano I've been playing ever since I was 7, so 7 years, half of my life. So my sister had been playing piano and she kind of got me into that. I started doing lessons and it's been good. My mom has wanted me to be classically trained and play all those like Mozarts and Bachs and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, can I do like a little more contemporary, maybe like a little something different? But it's
Hence
pretty
the
good with
music
that.
note on that golf ball.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say that brings
With
it
that
all
being
back.
said, what's your favorite? What's your favorite song to play on that bass guitar
The bass guitar.
or the drums?
Bass guitar, it's definitely got to be something from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea.
Okay.
Oh, one of the best basses out there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I
Any of those?
played bass for all of like 2 months,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think that was it. It was
Okay.
Smoke on the Water was one of the first ones I think
Okay,
they
yeah.
taught. That's a
Uh-huh,
really
yeah.
simple one.
Yeah.
That one's
Mhm.
fun.
And then I started learning Californication by Red Hot
yes,
Chili Peppers.
yes.
That one was
Uh-huh.
fun.
Yeah,
I could
they
do
have a
like
bunch of good bass
I
lines,
could
so.
do it like a little bit, but I was like, I gave it up for sports and everything else and video games. So
Yeah.
not sure if that was the most productive route, but it's all good.
Yeah, at least
And
you
then-
tried it.
Yeah, exactly. But so what about drums?
Drums, that was me. I was like, drums, the loudest instrument out there, I'm gonna play it. So my mom got me like a couple drum lessons and I started getting started. I love jazz as well as like classic rock and modern rock. So just playing jazz, just with how smooth it is, I love listening to jazz and stuff like that. So yeah, I love drums as
Beating
well.
those drums, man. You
Yeah.
beat golf balls out there too. You hit the ball a long way, Owen. With that being said, what are we talking here with pregame music?
Ooh,
You know,
pregame.
you're a music guy. What do we got in those headphones? Prior to a golf match. Are you a headphones guy on the range or just kinda in
when
the
I
car?
practice,
Okay.
in the car, but on the range before, no.
What are we
Never
bumping?
thought
though?
about
What
it,
are we
but
bumping?
Probably something upbeat, fun, hard hitting. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana,
What were we
Anything like
bumping on the cart that one day?
Nirvana.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, don't put Nirvana on when you're playing against O because it's just
It's
Birdie
just-
City.
it's
after
out.
that. It's
There you
over
go.
after that.
Yeah.
He gets fired up.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, that's cool. That's when you play the front nine without it. He adjusts, he asks for some strokes, and then boom, Nirvana on.
Yep.
Oh,
Done
it's
deal.
over after that.
And then, I kind of liked what you said earlier too, that like you try to keep your mind clear of golf.
Mhm.
Did you was there a point when you were younger where you couldn't like get golf out of your head? Did you ever have trouble going to sleep the night before you competed? Was it excitement, like being scared, or where does that come from? Because I feel like most people that compete, it's you kind of obsess over it. And I think
Mhm.
it's a pretty tough thing to do, to just kind of keep your mind clear. And I think if you can manage it, you know, that's probably one of the big reasons you can do it. You do so well, but like, where did that come from? Like, was that even something you thought about?
Definitely when I was younger, the excitement of a tournament, just, you know, nerves kicked in as soon as I got to the course on the first tee, but excitement was really the night before. Like, I could go to sleep, but I was definitely thinking about it. And now, more recently, sometimes when I go to sleep, I have to manage, like, if I do think about it, I have to manage expectations. And it's like, oh, I'm going to go out tomorrow and shoot a 59 or whatever. It's like, you know, you can't always do that. You just have to, you know, go out there and play the best you can. So, definitely nerves. I'll probably always have a little nerves on that first tee. Just, you know, you always want to hit a good drive and make a good impression. So, first tee, little nerves. Night before, definitely a little excitement. I mean, I love competing. So,
what do you do to contain those nerves? Do you have any technique? Was your pre-shot routine? Is it breathing out there? You know, kind of all the above.
I breathe a lot out there, just trying to make sure I have good oxygen flow to the brain. Just, you know, you can get some scientific with that, but definitely just it calms yourself down if that heart gets racing a little bit, if you're going to hit a shot over water, whatever. So definitely just breathing, trying to calm yourself down in any moment. So
yeah, you know me as well as anybody, Owen. I've seen you coming around the turn a couple times, and I love to just, you know, bust your chops a little bit, get you smiling, kind of get your mind off, off what's going on. Do you have any thoughts, you know, while you're playing, or are you kind of focused that whole time, or what's going on there?
I definitely say as soon as I get to my ball, I'm 100% focused on golf. And as soon as I hit that shot, you know, I react to that shot for about 30 seconds, whether it was a hole in one or I just shanked it OB or whatever. And, you know, after that, I have to manage my thoughts and kind of detach from golf for that seconds or minutes or whatever it takes to get to the next shot. And that's huge for the mental side of golf. If you just missed a putt, you can't say, oh, I'm the worst putter ever, because you've made plenty of those putts before. So definitely just managing that and managing,
I like that.
Yeah. And having played in this area, and I'm sure you've done quite a bit of traveling and stuff too, but I've got to imagine that junior golf being split into age groups and skill levels and everything like that, you've got to play a lot of the same faces pretty frequently when you're out there. Do you have like an arch nemesis? Do you have like one or two people that you're going toe to toe with each time, or you see there in your group, or you're chasing them on the leaderboard, or they're nipping at your heels? You have anybody that's not got your number?
Ooh. So locally I play an age group up, so 15, 18.
Humble brag. I like it.
So
that's good.
In that age bracket, just trying to beat everyone.
Can respect that.
There you go.
But for my age group, kind of like around the country, there's one kid. Haven't been able to beat him yet, but I'm definitely.
Is it a Cali boy or
Minnesota?
Who we got? Who is it?
Why can I not think the same?
Dude, that's next level. He's so in your head that his name is even blocked out. Have you because this is
I got it.
What is it?
Sam Udovich.
Sam Udovich. Dude, that sounds like a pretty gnarly last name right there. He doesn't mess around,
pretty
Sam.
Intimidating.
But have you played in the same group as Sam before? Like,
I have. I know him a little bit. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
Nice, but heck of a player. So definitely I'm trying to beat him.
Because Dan and I were talking about that before, you know, again, me not really having competed in golf and it being such an individual sport. I was asking him like, dude, is there ever a time where like these kids are just going at it and they're, you know, is there any of those stories out there where these two kids are always fighting for, you know, the top couple spots and they're like arch enemies, and then eventually they get paired up or they get put together in a team event, and it's like, wow, if like we'd have been best friends if I never played with you. I would have hated your guts forever. I would always just looked at trying to crush you like a bug. And then, that's how the best twosomes or best teams ever come,
That Brooks and Bryson combo.
Exactly. We just saw it at the Ryder Cup, everybody, it's been 3 months of Brooks versus Bryson. And then this last weekend, I think they finally like high-fived or something and the whole world came crumbling down.
I read an article that like they hugged afterwards.
Yeah. I saw the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
dude,
that was cool to see.
We're making strides. But no, man, that's cool. So Sam, you've got it coming your way, man. Right. Owen's gonna be coming for you. He's gonna get it one day. We're all gonna be counting down to it. But no, man, and I think it's cool, right? Because it is, whether it's playing a division up in the sport or whatever it is, it goes back to the accountability from earlier. There's always going to be someone or something that is better than you and it wants it more than you. And so the fact that you have that understanding and you're already pushing yourself, as hard as you can and doing it on your own, right? There is nobody else pushing you. You don't have a coach breathing down your neck. You obviously love the game. You're here on your own all the time. So I don't sense any sort of burnout, which is, it's a really special thing, man. It seems like whatever you have going is you've got the right stuff, which is cool, man. Hopefully a lot more kids out there can kind of take, what you've talked about and find the same understanding or even use it to realize like, maybe I really don't love golf. Cause for me, I wasn't even that good at baseball, but I got to high school and was playing, and same thing. I played travel ball. I played a couple divisions up, whatever it was. But I looked around at all my classmates who were like counting the minutes to get out of class so they could go to baseball. And I was thinking like, what's my excuse today? Like, I don't want to go to outfield practice. I don't want to take ground balls at first base. I would do anything but go to practice. And it's when it kind of clicked for me at like 14, 15 that I didn't love baseball. I loved competing, right? And I had this weird misconception. Everyone in my family, you're so good, you got to do it. And I really wasn't that good. But because people around you see you succeed in any capacity, they want you to keep going, but really taking that step back at your age and saying, is it really this that I love? Yeah. Or could I be channeling this passion or following something else? You know what I mean? Because just because you're good at something doesn't mean you need to pursue it, but it is really special when you've got someone with your talent and your drive, and you've got people supporting you like Dan and your parents and all the other people in the community. So no, man, we're all rooting for you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely rooting for you, Owen. Minus the junior circuit, who's a couple people you like to, whether it's here at Dobson or somewhere else, who do you like taking money off of out there on the course? Who do you like beating? What kind of gets you going when you beat? Who's that guy out there?
You.
I figured he was gonna say that too. And
and the thing about losing to somebody Owen's age, the worst part about losing to a kid is that they can't even buy you a drink afterwards with your own money. Normally if Dan was to take my money and say, it's okay, Drew, I'll get your next drink. But he can't even do that if he wanted to.
Owen's a killer out there. I'm not gonna lie. I think our record, I got beat me three times, tied once, and I don't think I do have a win against you yet. That might change later on today.
I'm gonna get that DJ streak.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Oh man,
no shot.
I got that tie, unfortunately.
Well, but dude, let us know if you guys want to see a sneak peek into any of these matches. If he's got them up, if Owen's up 4-0 and we've got the 5th match here for him to get the DJ streak, let us know if you'd want to see that. You want to see him put the smackdown on Dan.
Or the other way around. I'm going to put the smackdown on Owen.
I love it.
No, I got it. I'm going to bring your head. I got you.
Bring it.
Yep.
We'll see. We're going to get it today.
I think Dan's got a couple more questions for you before we finish it out. And these ones are a little bit more lighthearted. They might not all be about golf and competing and everything. And I know I've got one that we've asked everybody on our other podcast. So I'll keep the tradition going here at the end, but fire away.
Yes, Owen, if you could trade lives with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be? One day. Who do you want?
I think for a golfer, anybody would say Tiger Woods, and I would have to agree with them. Just the legend, Tiger Woods.
T-Dub, what year are we talking here?
His prime, 2000s.
Circa 2000.
Oh yeah.
That would be something crazy, wouldn't it? What major? What day are we talking? Are we talking those U.S. Opens? At the Masters?
I wasn't born then, so like the videos. The Tiger fist pumps.
Okay.
This emotion he shows.
Some Sunday at Augusta has got to be one of those days.
The whole out where like the Nike sign.
Oh yeah, and it just drops right in there. All right, Tiger Woods, definitely good answer there. If someone were to play a movie, if someone were to play your life in a movie, what actor would it be?
Oh, I don't know too many actors. So.
Andrew, we'll ask Andrew.
Okay.
Who would that actor be to play the movie
For him?
For you?
For me,
You.
I'll let Owen think about it first.
Dude, I really don't know that many actors or actresses either. But dude, I would want to go with Sean Connery just because I
Wow,
hope that
okay.
my life is like 007, dude. That would be
Yeah.
epic.
Uh-huh.
So I'll take that. We'll go real old school there.
I like that one. I think.
He's got to be like the originator of the dad bod too,
Oh,
because you know what I mean. He, back then no one really cared about their health. You know what I mean. You dressed well, you looked clean cut. That was it. That was all you needed. It was all about the person.
I love that. Owen, what do you got? Who's playing your life? Who's playing Owen's life? You're short 14 years so far.
I don't. Even if I watch like a lot of movies, I don't look at the end credits. Give me some names. What do you
like
think?
Zac Efron or who are
Dude,
these
I
young
don't know.
guys?
Just his build, him being so tall, fairly lithe, the long hair, dude. I'm thinking Matt McConaughey,
Wow, it'd be a lot
actually,
cooler.
I do
if
know
you
that
said
name.
that.
I do know
right?
that.
See, he knows that
I
name.
know that name.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that, Owen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Definitely. And then Drew, your question,
Dude, well, who's gonna play your life? You got both of ours, dude. Who's playing your life?
Well, I'm going Chris Farley.
Dude,
Chris Farley
there
is
you
a
go.
funny guy.
Yes.
Good guy, making everyone laugh. That's what I like to do.
What about
around here.
Blackjack?
Oh, Jack Black would be money.
You did hit him with the School of Rock quote
I did.
earlier. When he
I-
mentioned the bass guitar before we came on
Yeah.
here, you hit him with the "you take the cello and you've got a bass," or I just butchered that line. But
Yes,
Yeah.
Jack Black would be amazing.
Yes.
Chris Farley, Jack Black, definitely.
there you go.
I wouldn't
people
want a
laugh.
last name like Black.
Yeah, no, that would be sweet. It's better than Schneider.
And then, all right, man, the one that we've got for everybody, and it is cliche, but we have had some very creative answers. Same thing here. It can be somebody past, present, dead or alive. We got to hit you with the dream foursome. If you were going to go play golf,
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard this many times.
I've thought about this, but I haven't given it thought for a while. Tiger
Tough
Woods.
question.
Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Jordan Spieth.
Wow.
Is he going to pull a fourth golfer too? Or are you going to venture out from golf? Or are you going to pick another golfer?
You can pick
That's the real
anybody,
question.
Owen.
It could be
I can
anybody.
pick
You got
anybody.
It's
Tiger,
anybody dead,
Jordan.
alive, past,
Okay.
present.
Himself included, right?
Yeah. You are one of the four. So
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
got to
yeah.
pick
So you gotta-
three.
just gotta pick
So
one.
does that change either of the other two? So you're
No.
keeping Tiger, Jordan.
Keeping Tiger, keeping Jordan.
Dude, I've got one. You got to take the bass player from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
of course,
Dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Flea,
say, man,
Flea.
how don't you take him or like
100%.
Mozart or
Kid
you
Rock.
know, yeah, music's your other big passion.
Dan
Kid
Schneider.
Rock.
Yes.
Well, perfect, man.
Yes, Flea.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for being on here, Owen.
thank you, Owen.
I'm sure we're gonna have you back on, and we'll talk more as you begin to just dominate this year as it comes around.
Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you guys all so much for joining us. Let us know what you think, what else you want to see. If you know anyone out there doing other big things in their communities for junior golf, let us know in the comments. And as always, hope we made you smile.
From the T to the green, and the P to the B. Skip the plumb bob, drop the plumb bob, lose the plumb bob,